Yo, welcome back to another video. Now, it has been quite a while since I've last posted. Since then, I actually have achieved 1,000 subscribers, and I thank everyone who has supported me so far and will continue to support me going forward. I hope to make more content. I just have not made much content recently. It has been like 11 days. That is my bad. I was expecting Anime Vanguards to update this weekend, but it seems like they are still cooking pretty hard, so we will be seeing the update at a later point. Hopefully next weekend, but if not, probably at the latest the weekend after that. So initially with this video, I was going to play actual gameplay of Anime Vanguards, trying to get Sid, but I am at 75 clears in Act 2 and I still have not got Sid, and I want to really get a video out just of anything, really, more content to watch. So we're going to be going over the sneak and also going to be talking about PvP tournament, and then also I kind of want to go into a little bit of speculations on what else could be added into update 6, and then finally I want to talk about a series that I want to do that I already have stuff recorded for. It's just I wanted to get a video out first before I actually post that series. So let's get into the first thing. We are going to be talking about the sneak that came in for update 6. This is of course the Guilty Gear update. With this sneak there is a new map, and also we see one new character within it, but we also hear a voice line at the end, and also there is a third character that is sneaked within this sneak, but I don't think it's actually shown within the trailer, and it's based on the map that we are seeing. So I'll just play through it now while I talk. So firstly, with the sneak we have a show of the map. This is called the Castle of the Silver Feet. This is the stage from Guilty Gear. Very nice looking map. It is a 3-lane map. Great. If we love Golden Castle, we'll definitely love this one. Now the unit that they show and their attacks is Soul Bad Guy. He is a pretty cool looking unit with a transformation as well, so expect it to be a gauge unit. Now lastly, it goes to a black screen and we hear a voice line for a character. Alright, so this voice line that we hear, this is Bridget's voice line. She is a pretty cool looking unit. She has a yo-yo that I think she uses to attack, and then also has a cool design, holds a teddy bear, has like a handcuff around her waist as like a belt or some sort. I'm actually going to be putting in background footage of Guilty Gear gameplay that I decided to record last minute just because it's kind of cool to see. So yeah, there should be Guilty Gear gameplay in the background, and this is my first time playing it, so please bear with me. Lastly, the third unit that is sneaked within this trailer, it is based around the actual map itself. So the map itself is Castle of the Silver Feet, and this is the default stage for 3 characters in the game. We have Kai, we have Sin, and we have Ram Lethal. It could potentially be either of these 3 units, but it is going to be one of them as it was stated. So let's go over the possibilities of all 3 of these. So we have Ram Lethal. She is the older sister of Elphelt Valentine, which we have seen Elphelt in the game for the sneaks. Although she has a very cool design, I don't think that we will be getting her, because just in this trailer alone, Elphelt wasn't shown but Soul was shown, which is a huge key in thinking that it could be another person. Although I would want Ram Lethal. She looks really dope. I don't think it's going to be Ram Lethal. Going on to the next person, we have Sin. Sin is actually a really young person. Apparently they are 5 years old. It's kind of crazy looking at their build. I don't think a 5-year-old really looks like that. Anyway, this person was raised by Soul, who we saw in the trailer, so that is one pretty big connection. But at the same time, I don't think it could be Sin, because we have Kai as our last pick. He is the rival of Soul, which I feel like is more of a bigger connection than someone like Sin, who is raised by Soul. So this is why I think Kai is going to be the person who is added, but at the same time I could be completely wrong, and completely wrong I was. So it has been about an hour and 2 since I last was recording these voiceovers, and I have discovered some more information about who the third unit is. So I was wrong in my initial kind of deduction on who it would be. I assumed it was Kai, but the one key thing I missed out on was not the map. Even though the map is related to it, it is actually the music. If you are a Guilty Gear player, you probably would know straight away from the music theme itself off. Me not knowing Guilty Gear, I assumed that it was the theme song for Soul, but I was completely wrong. This theme song that is used is for Sin. So Sin is going to be the third character out of this entire sneak, being the three characters of Soul, Sin, and Bridget. So that is pretty cool to see. Now I did also learn a little bit more about Sin and why he looks like what he does. So he is 5 years old, but he was born between a human and a half gear or something like that. Not a human. And his blood that he has makes him age a lot faster in appearance wise than he does mental wise. So he is 5 years old, but he has the appearance more of an adult than what he does of a child. So that is kind of why he looks like that. So yeah, pretty cool that we have Sin coming into the game. Don't know too much about him. I think he holds a flag, which is pretty cool. All of these character designs for Guilty Gear are super cool. So it is exciting to see what they will look like in game. All right, now the next thing that we will be going over is the PvP tournament that got announced in the Discord. If you have not seen or are not in the Discord, there was a huge announcement for a 10 million Robux prize pool for a tournament that is around the PvP. This tournament is going to be probably a while after the release of PvP because they want people to get adjusted and familiar with PvP itself. And also this is going to be after the first season of PvP ladder, getting people on the top leaderboards and then selecting those people to go and compete. So the people being able to play this tournament are the top players from the traded and the traitorless leaderboards at the end of the first season, and they will be competing within a traitorless tournament. And with that there comes a lot of big prizes. Going over the first placed prize, you can potentially win 5 million Robux and a real life Monarch trophy, 5,000 trait rerolls, all 6.0 bundle, and 500,000 gems. This is a crazy prize pool to have just for first place alone. Even getting top 8 would be amazing to get. It looks like it's going to be pretty cool. It is also going to be live streamed for everyone to watch at the time. Yeah, so it is very exciting seeing this. I doubt myself will even be able to play, but I will be trying my hardest. I am going to be running the traitorless leaderboards and trying to see if I can get within the top place there. Now I have heard that it is probably going to be 64 players, so 32 from each leaderboard. This is subject to change though, so we do not know. It is not confirmed fully. So if you are wanting to be able to play this tournament, you do need to be within the top 32 places of either trait or traitorless leaderboards. The nice thing about this is it is an invitational for the top players and not just open to people like any content creators who don't really do PvP but are just being put into the tournament because they have a lot of subscribers. So it is kind of nice that it is pretty much anyone, whoever is skilled enough, is able to compete within this tournament. Now this goes into my next thing that I want to talk about. It's talking about a little bit of speculations on what update 6 could bring. So with PvP there can be metas, and within those metas can be certain units that are unobtainable currently. So I kinda am assuming that trading could be added in 6.0 just because of the whole PvP. It is a bit unfair how some players might be able to compete at a better level than others because of certain units. The main unit I am talking about is probably Lucy. I might be completely wrong with this, but Lucy seems like a very strong unit to have within PvP, being able to disable the modifiers that you can put on the enemies, allowing you to bypass a lot of things. This is just purely an example on what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Lucy is going to be a very strong unit, but something like that. A new player could come into the game tomorrow and they have heard about the PvP tournament and heard about PvP being added into the game, so they really want to get into the game and try go for top places in the PvP, and then they discover they aren't able to climb high because they are locked behind not having characters that they can obtain right now. So it makes sense that trading would be hopefully added in this update because that enables players who are newer at the game to be able to play at the same level or maybe even higher than other players that have been playing for a long time. But who knows? The new units that come out with this update could also possibly be the biggest meta change for everything when it comes to PvP, so we'll have to find out. But that's my little speculation on maybe potentially trading being added into the game. I feel like overall this creates a more fair balance for newer players versus older players when it comes to starting to grind PvP. And then lastly, the last thing I want to talk about is I'm wanting to do a series that I already have got things recorded for, but I wanted to get a video out first and kind of talk about it first. And that is what I am calling it is a side quest content drop. Whenever the content is low for Anime Vanguards, or I have kind of just finished the content for that update, I want to branch out and do other games, not really as like a recurring thing of just constantly playing that same game over and over again and posting, but every now and then I'll change up the game that I'll be playing in this video format series that I'm going to be doing. I want to try make them not as long, maybe 10 minutes, but maybe they might be longer depending on how long I'm going to grind on it. But I do have 2 videos basically ready to go. The first one is Anime Last Stand, going over grinding some newer units. Now, it's not the latest update that I'm grinding because I feel like I'm not strong enough to grind it, but I got some of the earlier units that are very, very strong currently in the game. So that is basically what I was doing, and I am naming it, yeah, side quest content trail. That is what I want to name it. And then the second video that I will be doing of that same series is on Anime Rangers X, going over the Tokyo Ghoul update. I'm a huge fan of Tokyo Ghoul, and I actually do like Anime Rangers, but the problem is, like, when it comes to content wise, it's not the greatest content to record and show because there really isn't much content. It's a nice side grinding game. You kind of just have it on the side of your computer or on the PC, just like letting it play while you do other things. It's kind of nice. It's like an AFK kind of game. I definitely will say the current content in it, it is not AFK. I really hate how you have to grind the updates. So that is my biggest gripe with that game so far, but hopefully it gets better. But yeah, that is pretty much the first 2 video ideas I have for side quests. I'm open up to playing other games. I do have some other games in mind I want to play, but that will depend on whether or not I actually have content to put about Anime Vanguards. So Anime Vanguards is still my priority with everything else, and then later on, whenever content is low or I'm just feeling like playing another game, I'll probably post something else just as a quick side quest content, you know. And that is pretty much the end of this video. There isn't too much else to say. One more thing I would like to say though is thank you once again for letting me reach 1,000 subscribers. It does mean a lot to me, and I will continue to post more videos, maybe more regularly than what I have been doing. But yeah, I appreciate all the support I've gotten. I have been enjoying it a lot. So yeah, I appreciate it if you have watched this far through the video. See ya.